Retro Rob plays everything.
Hey there, real gamers and gatekeepers. Retro Rob here, and welcome to Heart Theater, where we talk about what we're feeling deep inside. Yeah. Anyway, this is kind of a heart-to-heart thing, though, so it's not heavily technical. If you don't regularly watch the channel, I don't know that there's a lot in here for you, but I guess I'm going to lead into this from one of the videos I was working on, which is on the RG351M, which is the latest of Burnout's handhelds. And I think I started that review probably about 2 months ago, our first impressions video about 2 months ago, and I'm about probably 75% of the way through it. And to be honest, at this point, it's probably not going to happen. And the reason is, basically, I have kind of burnt out on this kind of device. No, I haven't burnt out on handhelds in general or gaming in general. I love it, or retro gaming, to be honest. But I'm getting kind of tired of reviewing the same devices over and over again with a slightly different shell. I mean, to be honest, the 351 is better than the 350, but only incrementally so. I mean, yeah, I realize a lot of you are going to feel like, hey, you know, running N64 games and running Dreamcast is more than you know, a tiny push forward. But I have those consoles, and if I really want to play them, I'll play them in their best format, which is on the original machine. Now, I'm not saying don't get an RG351. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't get these devices. What I'm saying is that at some point, the constant marketing of these devices is somehow massively different from each other. It's just gone too far for me. I love these things. Like I said, the RG350, I still regularly play it. It sits right by my bed, so when I'm just kind of laying there doing nothing, I will play it. This one, not so much. The smaller form factor didn't really do so much for me. This is the RG280, by the way. I think it's a great device. And then once I got over to this guy here, which is the 351M, I started kind of just like, you know, I've been here before. You know, I've covered the Arcade 2020, which is basically the same thing in a different shell. There's been RG351P, which is, again, same thing in a different shell. They changed the resolution a little bit. Maybe they update the interface a little bit. But there's like 2 or 3 OSs along with, and they're all Linux, you know, which that's not a problem. Everything's Linux. I mean, that's not a problem, and I enjoy Linux. But what I'm saying is they're all really essentially the same thing with slight variation. In all, it's just starting to feel a little, I don't know, contrived. It's getting a little lame now. I think that I'm probably not going to cover these devices until something that is a super big step forward comes out. And I'm going to note that, again, I can't not say it enough. I don't dislike these devices. I think they're great. I think if you pick one and stick with it, you are going to have a great time. They're great devices. But the idea of collecting more than one of them no longer appeals to me. Heck, you know what? The little Dragon King here, is the thing that is most likely to be sitting in my pocket right now. It's a great device, and it's got an insane little interface. And I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just getting bored with this phylum of device. I'm not bored of handhelds in general. Love them. Still playing the Switch. Still playing actually even these. Alright, so I'm sticking this right in the center of the video because it's a point that I forgot to make. And another one of the reasons for my kind of pulling away from devices like the RG series is little guys like this, like the Arduboy here, and this is the Pokitto, 2 devices that I really love. And both of these were made by manufacturers that they really had a goal in mind when they made them, other than just making cash. I mean, yeah, obviously they wanted to make money when they made them. I'm not a fool. But they also had this niche in mind when they made them. So you get a bunch of developers that have flocked to these and have made original games for both these platforms. And yes, there's some crossover, but they've got these really, really dedicated developers that love both these devices and make some great games for them. And I think that that deserves support. So I spend a lot of time with both of these, and that's time I probably would have spent with that. Another point is things like the Evercade have come out early on in emulation, like not even early on in emulation, up to just really a couple years ago. This kind of device, which is a legal emulation device, not illegal, it's a legal emulation device, they just weren't really on the market. There's massive amounts of games that are available for this. I can buy them as cartridges at reasonable prices. The device itself works well, plays well, looks nice, and I really would rather buy this and give the developers a little bit of money for their items than buy a pirate machine. Now, there's plenty of homebrew that those machines also run. They also have developers that are very talented and care about them, but that's basically all these devices are about. And I think that's worth supporting. All right, that was it. It's come down to it. I just cannot cover these until something significant changes. And I'm sorry about that, but then again, I also think I'm kind of doing the community a service by pointing out the fact that this is a lot of the same stuff. And even though one of them's great, if you got one of them, there's really no real great reason to upgrade to the other unless it has some feature like a second joystick or video output that you don't have on the last one. So that's about it. For now, I'm just not going to be doing these devices unless I do a little gameplay or something on them. I'm just not going to do them in serious depth anymore. Anyway, that's it. What do you think about this? What do you think about all these little guys? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you think that there's just too many of them? Let me know in the comments down below. I am curious as to your opinion on this. All right, heading out, we're going to be doing Paula Rumi. I cannot pronounce this, but I'm going to be doing a video on this really soon. Also, I have got a mail call coming in. It's a really small mail call, but pretty cool stuff. And there is another handheld device that I am really going to enjoy, and I hope you guys do too, because it's really something a little bit more off the beaten path. All right, thanks very much for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe for more, and all that other great stuff. Bye.